Awesome. So I think we got people coming in here now.
Yeah.
Are they coming in yet? All right, cool.
Yeah, we got a ton of people
Everyone.
already joining.
All right. And Lynette, my friend. Okay, let me see who's all in here. Let me see, because I got a surprise for you guys at the end of it. You know, you can't come to something like this and not get a surprise, Mike. You know,
Oh yeah, we always give surprises out.
that's part of it.
I'm trying to see some familiar faces too.
Hey, Joshua's got his camera on. Okay, do we get bonus points to people who have the camera on today? Of course we do. Madeline, my girl Madeline's here. Awesome. There we go. Roxana, nice to see you. James. I'm actually in Dallas. Where are you at? I'm actually in Dallas. You know what? I'm actually curious where everybody's at. I'm in Dallas. What about you? Where's everybody from? Where are you calling in from, Mike?
I am in Scottsdale, Arizona.
Wow.
Beautiful Scottsdale. It's a nice day here too.
Yep.
Like
Yep.
74
Asheville,
degrees.
North Carolina, Canada. Okay. Paulo's in Canada. Houston over here from Madeline. Nice. I was just there last weekend. But we're going to get to it in a few seconds. But we just wanted to welcome everybody getting into this. This is going to be an exclusive private session for us only. And this will be streamed to the Facebook, but we are going to be able to answer some questions and kind of really engage about what we're doing here in the Land Profit Generator family and why it's so important, and maybe how you can either get started or use some of the techniques we're going to talk about tonight. Right, Mike?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm excited to dive into it tonight. We've actually got a great topic, which we are going to talk a little bit about tonight, but we're going to elaborate big time. And Jack's actually going to walk us through like the nitty gritty details of these deals. But our topic tonight that we really want to cover is how we got 130K in 2 deals. Okay, this is an example of actually in Jack's business. And you'll see some of the strategies that he used to get that deal. It's what David and I use in our business, and what a lot of our land flippers in our community use as well. So I'd love to kind of dive into it. You want to add anything real quick, David?
Well, just before we do, I know people are still coming in. This topic, this strategy is so important to not only everybody here, but also especially me. I'm a land flipper just like you. One of the biggest, probably the biggest benchmark as a land flipper is to say, I've done $100,000 profit in one deal. We're going to talk exactly how that worked for Jack Bosch, exactly how he did it, and how you can too. That's what I'm super excited about, because getting down to the details and really just kind of talking, deal analysis is one of my favorite things for people to just get some insight on what that looks like, having a real business flipping land, what that actually looked like. So yeah, Mike, I'll throw it back to you, but I just wanted to just express how important that is. That benchmark right there is just so amazing. Can I get a heck yeah, I won $100,000 net profit in a deal in the comments? I actually want to know. Yeah. I'm actually going to know who's not going to say heck yeah. Okay, that should be mandatory here. I know Jennifer's typing right now, so Jennifer wants a heck yeah. I want a heck yeah. Oh, James is first. James is first. Okay, 130,000. That's right. So, Mike, kind of give us a little background on now. When Jack told us about this deal, it was really fascinating because it was a little that we don't talk about it enough, and that's also why we wanted to express about it. We don't talk about it enough. A lot of times we're talking about how to just get started. This deal is obviously where if you have a little bit more experience, a little bit more patience, this is what explodes your business. And so this is the next step, and it should be for a lot of people here.
Absolutely. And I remember when they did this deal, you and I were actually on Clubhouse. Yeah. And if you guys aren't on Clubhouse, you should definitely join. And David and I go live every Thursday, and we talk about deals that we're doing in our business. And we talk about deals that other people are doing in their business. And then we also answer a lot of questions too. So definitely join us for Clubhouse. But we were on Clubhouse, and actually Michelle Bosch joined us one day. And we were thrilled to see her. And she came on with good news. She was like, well, I just made $100,000. Yeah. And we're like, whoa, okay, what'd you do? So basically, we wanted to bring this to you guys tonight to tell you how they did this, right? And we're going to give you a nice overview, right? One of the things that I love about this deal and learning about this deal, just knowing that it's out there, is so many people are doing it in our community, and it gives us encouragement to do the same, right? It allows us to see that, okay, this is possible. Here are the steps. And now this is what we have to do to make that happen, right? So I'll give a quick overview. Basically, this deal was done in Phoenix, Arizona, okay? It was a city infill lot, okay? Super important to understand what a city infill lot is, right? So this is in the middle of Phoenix, next to a couple buildings, right? It's in the city. It's not one of those properties that's on the outskirts. It is an empty lot within the city. Their strategy to finding that lot is going to be explained a whole lot more on December 10th. And I think that is the key to this whole entire deal. Is how the heck do you find a property like that? How do you get that opportunity? They found it and they got it under contract for $90K. Okay. That's a smoking deal for where this property was. Because what they did was they put it under contract for $90K. They turned around, they sold it for $199K. They made $100,000 in profit right there. Right. So identifying the lot was to me, David, I mean, that's the biggest part of this whole deal, right? Is to
find. Well, it was also a lot of it is appreciation. So when Jack found this deal, the thing that was fascinating to me was it was a commercially zoned property. Mm-hmm. And that's another quick tip that I really struck me too. So many people in our group assume so many things without having the experience to do it. But that's exactly what coaching is for. That's exactly what the December event is for. And that's what we're going to go into. But this was a commercial zone property. So it wasn't your standard cookie cutter deal, right? And so because Jack obviously has done so many deals and gotten started previously, he had the capital because this area was growing in appreciation. He didn't want to just flip it right away. He didn't want to just get under contract and flip it right away. He wanted to buy and hold. And what I thought was the fascinating thing about it, Mike, and for the people listening, was that what he did while he owned the property and he was holding, Mike, what he did was he actually leased it out to a construction company to park their tools and their equipment on, I think, because they were having some kind of upgrades to the highway or some building or something like that. That was really fascinating to me. So he actually profited $30,000 in lease fees to the borrower on that property while he was owning that property. And then when they did sell it for $109,000 profit after that, obviously, what is that, 139, I believe, if I did my numbers right. That was really fascinating to me. So the misconception of just buying and just holding onto it and not doing anything is out the window now, right? Mm-hmm. And so part of the process is understanding the attributes of the property. And then a lot of people ask, like, what's the difference between this event and the 9-day masterclass? Well, simply put, I mean, do you want to wait 9 days to start doing your business, or a day and a half and follow through with it and start getting your business going in 3 days too? Because the coaches, Jack Bosch, myself, and others are going to be there to answer questions live, not in a Facebook DM, but on Zoom directly. So it's really powerful all day. Mm-hmm. All day. So not just an hour a day where there's 20 minutes of intros and 20 minutes of explainers, but all day. So that, and I think me and Mike love telling the story that I remember when me and Mike first did our first class like that with Jack Bosch. Me and Mike were taking notes as well, just as much as you guys were. So
I always do. Really, I always learn something new from these events. I really do. And the reason, David, just to piggyback on that too, from my experience, as a land flipper, I like joining these live events because it is collaborative, right? There's only a couple, I mean, I don't know the exact number, but we can't let that many people in. We want to engage. We want to answer questions, right? So this is an exclusive live event, right? We want to teach. We want to learn from you. We want you to get to know each other, right? And we can only do that in a small setting. So we are about halfway sold out on the tickets. So we're not going to sell 1,000 of these things.
Yeah.
For that exact reason. We want this to be intimate, and we want everybody to get something out of this.
Okay, so before we get into a little bit more details of that property, let's give a hashtag live to the people that are watching this live in the comments. If you're watching this in a replay later, go ahead and show us a hashtag replay. We want to see who you are. Okay, we want to see who you are. We're going to be able to give out a bonus later, then we're going to talk about that here in a few minutes. But the diagnosis of this deal, Mike, we're talking about a commercial property in Phoenix, downtown, that typically would have been disregarded. Okay, typically we would have been, newer students would have been looking for something else. But again, the way the program teaches it is we want to get deals and start flipping deals to make money. In my opinion, I just can't find anything better than this. I don't think there even close to it, that you can get something under contract for zero money out of pocket and make $20,000 net profit. So the goal is definitely to start flipping properties to generate and start injecting your business with money. And now that you do have that money, what to do with it. And that's what we want to talk about, right, Mike? So go ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the key things to focus on here is these types of deals are being done over and over and over again in our community, right? I think a common misconception when people first start getting into land business, and I made this mistake too, is that I was only looking at rural properties, residential type lots, right? This was a commercial lot. So let's expand, right? Let's not only focus on those rural lots. There's so many opportunities in these big cities or smaller cities that are growing right now that have a nice population trajectory that we can pick up these info lots and hold on to them, right? Or flip them right away and hold on to them and flip them later on. And then one other key thing I want to mention about this deal that Jack did, where he leased it out to a construction company. Guys, he didn't do anything to do that. He didn't put an ad up or anything. They contacted him.
Yeah.
As soon as he got the property, they contacted him. So he was cash flowing right away from that property just by having it. So keep that in mind. I've had phone calls before from solar companies for land that I'm holding right now. I'm not really interested in it. I just want to hold onto the property. I don't really trust those solar companies, but it's still these opportunities come about. I have people contacting me, other investors contacting me about the property. So when we hold, it's a great opportunity to do something kind of unique.
Yeah, and it's also, not every property, like this is exactly why you want to rely on your ecosystem and your training and your education that we're going to talk about in December. But this is why, because, do you want to maximize your profits or do you just want to get in and out? It really depends on the characteristics and the attribute of that property. Not every deal is the same deal. So I'm really hoping we all take note of understanding that not every deal is the same deal. Okay, we might have to exit a little bit differently. We might have to push and pull on a couple different levers to get that deal closed. One deal might be better off for seller financing. One deal might be better for a cash flip. This particular deal, was better to buy and hold, make money on the passive income while he had it, and then sell it for retail value later on. Mike, I don't know about you and your deals, but I don't sell retail value because I don't really, in those particular deals, retail value, it's so competitive. When you're getting a deal for so cheap, like we do, it's a lot easier to sell it faster, right? Yeah. And I think, and you're going to explain a little bit more, maybe you might struggle on selling that property because you just didn't get it cheap enough. And that's what we're going to talk about, is exactly how to target these better deals. It's all in the numbers, Lars says, from Germany, by the way.
What's up, Lars? How you doing, buddy? Yeah, it's crucial to get these properties under contract or purchased at pennies on the dollar. If we can do that, then we've got a lot of leverage to sell below the market value, right? If we're buying at 75% of market value, makes it tough, right? Because that percent profit built in is a lot less. We have a lot less room for it, right? We typically try to get, 40% in some of our deals, 40% market value. That gives us a nice big room to sell at 90%.
Well, here's the interesting thing about the strategy that we want to keep pounding on is he got it for $90,000. Now, what if at the time the market value was like $120,000, but it was appreciating so fast, he didn't want to just quick flip it in a week and only make $5,000. If you can be a little patient on these strategies, you can use it to your advantage to maximize your profits. So that's what I was fascinated about. And that's something I had to start looking at my own self, my own business. And that's exactly why I'm here too. Because there's so many deals out here. There's so many strategies that we're going to teach about. But not every deal is for the right and same strategy. So obviously we want to, the best way to get started is to flip deals and get money in the bank. And then we want to start being a little bit more selective on the areas that we tested with. And we're going to show you that in December in that event. And then we have a higher confidence. I mean, if you're more confident, you're going to be more apt to make the right decisions because you're doing the diagnosis correctly, right?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah. One of the big mistakes that I made early on when I first started doing this is I was actually buying my own properties, right? Mm-hmm. I didn't use that strategy to get money in the door where we double close, right? I was buying and I was losing capital and I was selling properties on terms and below the market value. I was doing pretty well. I was getting a good amount of deals. But because I was investing in these properties in the first place, I had less of a profit, right? And I had more money that I had to put into the business. Whereas when I finally learned the double closing process from Jack himself, that's when I started building a lot of capital into the business. I wasn't spending any money on properties. I was getting them under contract, selling them, flipping them, right? Double closing on them. And then that allowed me to do different types of deals. That allowed me to get back into that game of purchasing properties right there and getting a deed for it. And then doing terms deals and doing interesting, JV deals with other people. So keep that in mind. That's what we're going to be talking about, right? What that process in which we can get properties under contract, double close, get money in the door, and then build the business after that.
Well, I think that's perfect to start talking about Jack's second deal that he did that month. Okay, the first deal he made over $100,000 on that, which is like our holy grail as land flippers. The second deal was quite interesting too. Okay, the second deal was actually a JV, a joint venture that he actually did with a coaching student. And by the way, we only do JV deals with coaching students that are, if you're a coaching student in the coaching program, obviously, because that way we know what you're doing, you know what we're doing, we're all on the same page, we're doing it correctly, and we're managing it the right way. So he actually made $30,000 net profit on that deal. And so I thought about myself when I first got started. I had some capital, not a lot, but I didn't have the confidence. And so I knew that if I trained myself and worked with a partner, I had confidence to just take that step. And it really depends on you. You might be not have taken that step for a certain reason. It might be a certain time of the year. You might be waiting for the weekend or something like that. For me, it was just that confidence that I wanted to make sure that I was doing it correctly. And so by JVing with a coach or Jack's team, you have that confidence, obviously, because now the experts are involved. So he actually did that. That's how I did my first two deals, Mike. So you were explaining about how you got started and you were doing it right. You were doing a strategy that was bad timing for you.
Mm-hmm. It was bad timing. It was bad timing. One of the things I love about coaching and just our community in general is we're learning how to build business the right way. It's not just land flipping, right? Land flipping is 95% of it. We got to learn the methods and the strategy. But how do you own a business? How do you run a business? How do you put money into one basket and save for another, right? Where are we allocating, right? What areas do we need money in and all that good stuff. So, that's coaching is, it's so much more than just land flipping, right? And I think it's super important when you first start a business to get all of that right. because if you don't get it right when you first start, you're kind of screwed, right? You know, you have
But
to
you
get
don't
it
want to
right.
lose momentum. Yeah,
You don't
you know,
wanna lose-
momentum is the most important thing. That's why I think, like, you know, when somebody asks me about the 9-day versus the 3-day, well, number one, it's momentum. You know, I want to get my questions answered faster, and I want to make decisions faster. And the faster I can make decisions in my business, and that's why I'm happy. You know, people like Carlos and Lars and Roxana and my friend David all the way up in New York are here too, because you know they may just be wanting that one nugget that gets them to the next step. So, you know, who wants to make $130,000 in 2 deals? You know, when I first got started, you know, okay, I'm getting some hands raises. Can I get a heck yeah? Madeline's giving me a heck yeah. I'm getting 2 hands raised by Lars. I'm getting 1 hand raised. Okay, Roxana is getting in there. But yeah, that was incredible. I think this is really truly one of like the biggest benchmarks as an investor to be validated, prove to your family, prove to your bank account, your business, and have enough capital going forward to be able to do $100,000 in 1 deal, $130,000 on 2 deals. That's life-changing. That's life-changing. So, you know, and obviously not everyone has deals like this every day. You know, it's not automatic that we send out mail and we get deals like this, but we have had students and coaches and members that do these deals. And that's exactly what we're talking about. So, and of course, all this will be explained in a December event. But for me, when I first got started, Mike, I want to make clear too, I wasn't targeting these deals when I first got started. I simply wanted to target deals where I could create momentum. And this particular deal is after you've already had established yourself, right? Now, what do I do? Okay. I want bigger profits. I don't want to sell it for $120,000 and make 10 grand in 2 months. I'd rather hold on to it for a little bit and make 100 grand. So it really is timing, just like everything else in life. It's timing and momentum, you know?
Yeah. It's timing, and it's also experience too, right? So the longer that we spend in a market, right? Jack and Michelle are in Phoenix, so they understand that market, and we go back to this all the time. It's a numbers game, right? They understood exactly where that property was going to be in 2 years. That's why they purchased it and held on to it. If all of us here on the Zoom can do the same thing in a different area, you know, we'll all be successful if we can just stick to it. That's what Jack's going to be talking about, how he got to those numbers, how he basically reverse engineered that city to determine whether or not that property was going to be at that $199,000 level in the 2 years that he held it, right? It's a numbers game. It's research. It's taking the time. It's understanding, and it's experience. You know, we can start at a small level in a county, and we learn something new, right? I just started in a new county a couple of weeks ago. I've already learned so much by talking to sellers and buyers, right? I get a good feel for what's going on in the area. And it's just basic intuition, but at the same time, I was in that county for a reason, because I had a hunch that, you know, it was going to be there. So research, spending the time and experience. And again, that's what we're talking about. We're really diving into it.
Yeah, that's another good point, is the appreciation of the numbers. If you know, you're going to be taught exactly how to do this correctly, but it is numbers and marketing. We have to do that right, and we have to see the appreciation levels for what they are. And you know, just recently myself, I mean, I went into a county where it was appreciating so fast that people are hesitant to sell at those lower rates right now. But if I just accept the going rate right now and hold on to it for 6 months, I'm making a lot of money in that area, because it is like growing year after year after year so fast. And that's why they're hesitant to get rid of it so easily. So I'm having to transition this strategy in that particular county, because not every county is going to perform the same and consistently in the same numbers and values.
It's a good point. I think a lot of people, that when they get into this, another misconception is that, you know, you could use this method of just getting properties pennies on the dollar every single in every single state, right? Every county is different, right? It takes a lot of research and a lot of time to understand what's going on inside that county and what the prices need to be at that point. Okay, so Don't go blindly sending out mail or offer letters without doing the research. And the research, to me, again, is the most important part in this business, is to get the counties right, get your research right, spend the time, commit to it. And I wouldn't have learned that stuff without Jack and Michelle, without the land profit generator method. I would have been just doing it blindly, hoping that it works. And so it's sad, so many people do that. And it's just the initial investment in your time to join a live event is really where that changes, right? That's where this all begins.
Yeah, we didn't even have these live events when I first got started, to be even in the Facebook group with 18,000 people is incredible. We're even sharing title agents in there too. So it's really fascinating how much faster the tools and technology in the land industry is coming to us now, because we're being collaborative about it, And I was just talking to somebody just today, and she was a realtor and she's getting into land flipping. And we were talking about that there was 65,000 realtors in Dallas, but there's about 40 land flippers. And she about fell out of her chair when she heard that. And so I'm starting to transition into this strategy of looking for exactly the appreciation values. Okay. Because now I'm not so anxious to settle in a week like I was, And I think my biggest, if I'm going to brag about anything, is like, I closed the deal in 1 hour. I got it under contract, found a buyer, collected a payment in 1 hour. And that strategy is where the buyer's list and understanding how to present the deal, But again, if Jack Bosch got this property for 90 grand and it was worth 120, he would have not have sold that thing for 199 in 1 hour, right? So it really is positioning and experience and just understanding, is this the right timing for this strategy?
Mm-hmm. So what'd you do? You put that off to your buyer's list, that deal that you sold in an hour? Yeah.
I did. I was not expecting to close it that fast, so I didn't even have like a deed created. I just emailed it out, and I got this email back saying I'll buy it. And she called and she asked for my wiring instructions. She was ready to go. You know what I'm saying? It's like she was waiting for that email.
Sometimes a buyer just comes like when you least expect it too.
Yeah.
Buyer's list, guys. That is a huge topic during this the live event coming up. Right, we're going to talk all about that, the benefits of having one, how to build one, and how to do it quickly. I built mine pretty quickly. It's just getting some processes in place and focusing on the right things. But it grows every single day, right? Because I now have a team in place that's helping me out and keeping the land machine running.
I don't know how much of these questions are we gonna be answering questions, because Terry just asked, looking to move some of these slow moving properties. Ooh, I can't wait to get a hold of that question right there, Mike. Any tips or Black Friday deals? That's my favorite subject right there.
Hey, this is a big week, guys. I always do a Black Friday deal. We do Christmas specials. Every week I'm sending out. I come up with a reason for a discount every single week.
Mother's Day, I'll do a Mother's Day, a Valentine's Day.
Oh yeah. Yep.
I think I did a happy secretary month or something like day or something like that, it's urgency is what we're talking about there, Terry.
Yes, your own holiday.
Yeah. Friday fun day, but it's urgency. And so, that's what I'm excited about too. So, the top 1%, the coaches are in the top 1% in this industry. The experience that I was getting ready to press a button on 12,242 mailers, Lars, all the way in Germany, getting ready to press that button. And I was like, wait a minute, let me talk to my coach first. I had everything diagnosed, like literally the sheets, the Google Earth, the Google Maps, the spreadsheets, everything. In 15 minutes, he had already told me, that's the best area right there. Mail this first and see how it goes. 635 leads. We mailed to, got 6 deals, made $40,000 on it. In 15 minutes, he had deciphered that for me. Mm-hmm. So that really just blew my mind.
And if you didn't have that, you probably would have sent out to all 12,000.
I would 100,000% sent out all of them, and
Yeah.
I'd probably still be swamped for about 2 years and just be
Yeah.
doing comps all day and going crazy. So yeah.
Yeah, you got to get it right from the get-go. We can't just blindly send out 12,000 letters. We've got to be targeting the right areas at the right time and the right folks too. So
Speaking of which, this is the best time to get into land, guys. Have you noticed how many house flippers and apartment flippers getting into land? There's a reason why the smart people are getting into land. There is a reason why all the rich people in the world and the history of the world have owned land. There is a reason for it. Okay. One of my favorite reason is called appreciation. Okay. My favorite reason is because when population expands, it drives up prices, right? When jobs and population expands, so does pricing. Okay. And competition, that's going to drive up the pricing. And so by me being in that appreciation zone, which is just right outside that city bubble, that's my favorite place, Mike. That's my favorite place. I can predict by looking at that growth and saying, you know what, I should probably hold on to this for 9 months instead of flipping it in a week. You know, I'm gonna 3x my money if I hold on to it just a little bit longer. So that for me is what's really, really important in understanding in 2022, because that's why I think it's the perfect time, obviously, in a down market and an up market.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, right now, there's no better time to join the land business. Land has always been a great business. I mean, we've had investors, Jack and Michelle, doing it for 20 years, right? Very successfully. It's not going anywhere, right? We're always going to have a great market. There's just so much land out there, but right now is the best time to be in. And man, we're talking about some really cool things during this live event about 2022 and some new tools that we're using, new resources, right? Things are always changing and making it easier for us to do this business. So I'm excited. You know, I think, how many people do we have? We got 103 people watching.
Wow.
I want everybody.
Yeah. Well, you know,
get in.
since I've been doing this for 4 years, my business has drastically changed as far as the strategy that I do. Drastically, you know. Now I'm more motivated to do downtown and commercial lots, bigger price points and everything like that. Not only because I have more confidence, but you know, I can see where the appreciation zone is going, you know. And the rural properties was fantastic for me to start, and just like yourself, because they're easier comps to do and stuff like that. And so, you know, that's what I was really focused on starting out. And you may be the same. You just want to get a quick flip and get money in the door to start building your business. And that's perfect. That's where everybody should be, you know, just get started.
Best way to get started is to, you know, get your education, right? That's it. December 10th, right, David? December 10th is our live event.
10th, 11th, and 12th.
10th, 11th.
I'm really happy that it's going to be on the weekend because we know that everybody's working. You know, in our previous masterclass, they've been right in the middle of the work day, right in the morning time. So this is a great opportunity that, hey, listen, you know, if you can get out of work Friday, that's great. If you can't, you got all weekend to catch up on everything too. And that's what it's for too. So as a concierge, I am answering some of those questions for you.
Me too.
I am helping you get started in explaining the process. That's exactly what I do here. So take advantage of it while we're here. Take advantage of us while we're here. So Mike, are we allowed to answer questions in this? Because I know we do have a bonus gift, Mike, that you want to talk about?
We do have a little bonus gift. I'm excited about this one.
I know Lars wants it. Carlos looks like he kind of wants it. Okay. Go ahead and tell us what the bonus gift is for everybody that's here on this Zoom right now.
Yep. So everybody on the Zoom right now, it's a great opportunity. And listen, this is the last event of the year, right? Yeah. This is the last chance in 2021 to just change it, right? Just start this business, get it going the right way. The first way to do it is get into the live event, learn the system, learn the strategies that we're using to do those types of deals that we're talking about tonight. But everybody here on the Zoom, we've got a gift card, right? A gift card giveaway. If you sign up for the live event tonight, or this week, you're going to be put into a raffle for an Amazon gift card during the event, right? And then we're going to give that gift card out throughout the event at some point. So nice opportunity to get a little Amazon gift card for the holidays, right? But also more importantly, guys, just a big opportunity to learn. I mean, we are genuine. Jack and Michelle are genuine. We want to teach you. We want to see you grow your business. It's the reason I do this is to see success from other students. I just had a student, Teresa Vasquez, that I'm so happy about.
Yeah.
She just closed, I forget what it was like 24,000 in profit just recently. And she's been in the coaching program for a couple months. That's huge.
Can I get a heck yeah for a $24,000 profit by just getting in a coaching program?
I believe
I'm going to give a heck yeah for that.
I got to check on that number, but I think it was around 24.
Terry in the comments just said that she's trying to close this $20,000 deal by the end of the year too. So I'm excited for you. So deals are just coming all over the place. Yep. I'm already signed up. What do I get? Carlos says. You get a pat on the back, Carlos. That's what you get, man. I'm going to hook you up, man. But yeah, we're definitely going to, help you out there, but we'll follow up with you personally too. But I'm sorry to cut you off, Mike.
No, how do we sign up? How do we get them to sign up? What's the link that we're using tonight?
Jennifer got it. Okay. Yeah, you will get entered into the raffle if you have already joined as well. Okay. Perfect.
Good.
Landflippinglive.com.
There it is.
All right. There you go.
Go to landflippinglive.com. You can register, right?
Okay. Sean just asked a quick question. Sean, you better go to this event because you just asked a question. When your offer get accepted, do you use your money to buy it or find a buyer? Sean, great question to ask. That's exactly why you need to be at this event, because we're going to explain how you can do this deal without using your money.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Zero money out of pocket. No, we're not taking out credit cards. No, we're not going to the bank and taking loans. We're not doing credit scores. It's none of that stuff. Okay. The double closing method, just to be clear, is when we get a deal under contract. Under contract means that they signed a piece of paper that says we're going to give them money at this date, right? So it's November right now. Let's say I'm going to get this deal and I'm going to close it February 1st, 2022. Okay. So I got between now and February 1st, 2022, I'm going to find a buyer. So let's say this is under contract for $25,000. Okay. Now the buyer comes in and they buy it for $40,000. Okay. So the buyer comes in and he says, hey, take my money. Here's $40,000. And he gives it to the title agent, not you. And the title agent does the paperwork for you. The title agent's going to make this all official for you. The title agent's going to clear everything. And now $40,000, it's under contract for 25. You just made $15,000 minus closing fees. That's a double close. Okay. So that's what we want to do. That's exactly how we're going to teach you how to do it. That's exactly what we're going to explain in December too. So Sean, great question. I'm glad you asked it because you absolutely have to be there. Good. You already signed up. All right, great. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what a great opportunity too. Like you said before, David, there's only a couple thousand people doing this in the country, right? And using this method. Not a lot of people know about it. I love telling people that I'm a land flipper. They think it's the craziest thing in the world. I met somebody over the weekend and they're like, oh, what do you do, by the way, Mike? I'm like, well, I'm a land flipper. And I love explaining that because they look at you like, what? What do you mean? Yeah. What do you mean you're a land flipper? I thought there was only house flippers, right? On HGTV. And once you start explaining it, man, people are so intrigued by it, yeah. Right? There's something about land that I think interests everybody, right? And that's why we do so well. That's why we have so many buyers. We have so many sellers, right? People want to sell their land. They want to do a deal, right? Because it's valuable. People want to buy land right now more than ever because they want to get out of the cities. RV sales are through the roof. I love that number, the RV sales right now.
That is an amazing tip right there, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. That's an amazing tip. I see Lars taking notes on that. That is a really good tip. So Do you inform the seller that this would be an assignment trend? Yes, we actually include that in disclosures on the contracts. That's exactly why we use the land profit generator program contracts, because they're official. Mhm. We don't have to worry about that at all. Yeah.
Terry says that we need an HGTV show on land flipping. I agree, but I don't
Oh,
think
that would be sold out.
yeah.
Yeah. We got to get commercials sponsored, you know. But yeah, I had fun. I really appreciate it. This was an amazing opportunity because I really felt like this was super important to just kind of get back everybody on track and really understand, you know, not every deal is going to be a rural, residentially zoned property. It could be commercially zoned. It could be appreciating. It could be downtown. What can you do with that? How much money potentially can you make with that? And this could be you too.
Mm-hmm. For sure. First step is getting into the live event and learning the process and doing it the right way. Not like me when I made a lot of mistakes and wasted a lot of time and money. Right. Once you just focus in on the right things, yeah, you can do great.
Awesome. Well, that's it for me. We don't have much questions after that. But if you did have a question that we just didn't get to tonight, please reach out to me, David Van, Jennifer Clark, Sarah, and Priscilla and Mike. If you do need to talk to your concierge about tonight, or the landflippinglive.com as well. Okay.
Sign up.
Awesome.
Sign up. Get that gift card.
Happy Thanksgiving, guys. All right.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Thanks a lot.
See you, Dave.